They're coming now.
What's going on, man?
What's up, man?
Now,
All right, I gotta go.
we have to finish. We have to finish this quickly, and then go on to chapter 4 because we have to take our first test. We have to take our first test. Now, let us look at this. Now, have you checked your group, the groups that you are in?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Please come up, meet. Meet, come up with a company and a product, and then write the project, do the project on it. But let me see first, and I hope you will do good. It is not a difficult thing at all. It's not difficult.
Company name.
Now, let's go. Now, we are in the middle of chapter 2, which I feel we have to finish by Friday, so that we pick and finish chapter 4, and then we take our first test. Please, those of you.
Do we take those online?
Yeah, I'll put it online for you.
Wait, when is it? When is our first test?
February 21st, right?
I don't know the date.
Is it already up?
You have to check the date.
Check today.
Mm-hmm. But it's going to be chapter 1. We are going to skip chapter 3. And then we pick chapter 4. We finish chapter 4 and you take your first test. You see. And so please let us do it together. Let us do it together. And those athletes, you athletes who play basketball, you see that I have put you in the same group, so that if you go out to South Carolina, you go to Charlotte or something like that, the four of you can meet and discuss your project. Now we are looking. We have reached this spot here that we have to continue, and it is on relationship marketing. And if you have taken principles of marketing, this should not be a new thing to you. That is here, creating the customer and let the customer be a repeat customer and then keep coming back. If the customer keeps coming back, then the customer is loyal to your business. Right? So, do you see? Relationship marketing, as you see, targets major customer that wants to sell to that the customer targets a major customer that it wants to sell to. Do you see? Today and tomorrow. Do you see? So we have lifetime customer. The customer keeps coming back. The customer spends money. You know that if the customer, Chris, if the customer keeps coming back for 2-3 years, you know how much you have won from that customer, lifetime customer. Do you see? So you see that relationships You build a relationship short term, and then it leads to long term. The lifetime customer keeps coming back. It benefits the company, it benefits the customer. You see. So this is an example of the salesperson, talking to a customer. You see, it is we, the salespersons, people who actually execute the relationship between our company and the customers that we deal with. Very, very important. And we have to be patient and courteous with their customers so that they keep coming back. As I indicated, when there was snow 3, 4, 5 days ago, my dry cleaning shop, they called me. Hey, how are you doing? Do you see? Now the impression that is creating that I know is that the owner of the business cares about me. You see? Now, there are 3 levels of relationships in marketing. Number 1, transaction, person to person. Do you see? The person buys the product. It goes away, the person doesn't come back. That is transaction. When it's completed, the person doesn't come back. Number 2, relationships selling. This is a situation where the seller, contacts the customers after the purchase. Now, why is the contact? The seller wants to find out if the customer is satisfied, is pleased with the merchandise, or is pleased with the product. Do you see? And then, so that if the customer is pleased with the product, the service received, the customer will do what? The customer will come back tomorrow and will make business. That is what relationships are for. And then what happens? We build partnership. You see, the seller builds a partnership with their customers. We partner with their customers. You see, it improves our sales. We increase sales. Why? Because the loyal customer becomes an advocate for us, talking to other people. Go to this place. Go to this place. They treat you right. Their prices are right. Go there. These are the 3 levels. Transaction, where the person buys the product, he goes away, he doesn't come back. You see, even though we might wish that she comes back, but might not come back. Then we have the relationship selling, where the product is sold. We contact the customer to find out if the customer is satisfied with the product. In this case, we see that there's a satisfaction that the customer gets brings the customer back. We build the customer long term, become partners with our customers. We have to do that. Make business. You see, you look at this. You see, it encourages both the buyer and the seller to do what? To share information. It benefits both ways. You see. Now, we have consultative selling. And you see that the concept is clear. You see that we help the customers short term and tomorrow long term, to buy goods and services that they use. You see, that is consultative. We help them. They come to us, we help them, we talk to them. And help them to buy goods and services that serve their needs. yesterday I got a phone call from a politician, somebody in our neighborhood who is running for Congress, that he wants students to work with him on an internship. Right. I called back today, I didn't get him. But you see that he's selling something to me, consulting. That, bring your students, selling this thing, that the campaign that is going to, embark on for the midterm elections. And he wants students, to help him. If we are consulting, you see that it involves what? Interaction, talking. Between the two, the customer and the seller. You see, the salesperson, consultant. So we provide information in both ways. And you see that Ford Taurus, for instance, has improved over time. It was the customers who provided information to the company, Ford company, to develop and design, to develop that automobile. Customers. Interaction doesn't help only the customers. It helps the firms too. Sellers who stay with their customers, they have a lot of information that serve the customers' needs. And it helps companies to modify their products, modify their services. So important. Now, these are the three roles, the three consultative selling roles for our time. You see, we have team leaders, we have the long term, those who stay with us for a long time, and we have business consultants, those who are paid, to help us to develop or to set up our businesses. So important. These are the three roles. So you have this in your textbook. I want you to look at it on your own for us to speed up. But otherwise, this marketing and personal selling provide services to customers. And look at where the customer is. You see, the customer sits in the middle. What happens? Do you see? We, the businesses, we analyze customer needs and be able to serve those needs. Do you see? We do presentation. Now, when we are doing the presentation, do you see? Don't get it wrong. You have to discuss. Let the customer know the benefits that the customer is going to derive when the product is indeed purchased. The benefits. You have to do that. So as a salesperson, as I keep telling you, the customer, you should know the product. Now, if you do that, you are getting what? Getting the commitment from the customer. If you do your presentation well, the customer is satisfied. The customer feels that the product is going to meet the customer's expectations. The customer makes commitment, and in the long run, we have to provide services. Picking up the product, telling the customer where to find the product alone is enough. That is a service that we are providing. And what do? We provide a product. That is the marketing mix. We provide a product. We let the customer know the price that the customer is paying to get the product, where to pick up the product, that is the place or the distribution. And then we, the business salespersons, We provide information, we communicate information about the product or the service or our offering to their customers. Do you see? This is personal selling. Do you see? Personal selling. It is not selling on the internet. So, if you have questions on that chapter, on this chapter, chapter 2, please, or if you have read anything that bothers you that you do not understand, please bring it out for us to talk about it. Before we move on, as I have indicated, I have the first test set, but you are not going to take it, not until we finish chapter 4. We are skipping chapter 3.
So chapter 1, 2, and 4 going to be on the test?
Chapter 1, 2, and 4.
I bet.
So
Okay.
read chapter 4, please. And if you have the new syllabus, you know the date for it. I will open up the test 2 or 3 days for you to do the test. And when I open it, I will communicate with you the information that the test is ready for you to take. Yes. Any questions? And those of you who are athletes, please, when it's open, wherever you are, try and do it. Try and do it. Is that okay?
Yes, sir.
You know, chapter...
We're in chapter 4 now.
No, yeah, we are moving on to chapter 4.
Oh, man.
Mm-hmm.
We fancy.
The PowerPoints are on model. You can access print on model yourself. You see, and read the PowerPoints, but you see that PowerPoint they are all in outline. You have to read and put meat on the outline. And if you come in contact with any concept that you do not understand, that bothers you, come to me, bring it to class, ask, and for all of us to share the discussions. So, chapter 4. Chapter 4 is on psychology of selling. Why is it that people buy? Psychology of selling.
They need stuff.
They need the stuff?
Yeah.
You asking us why do people buy?
Yes, why do people buy?
It's a need, like, you know what I mean? You gotta buy stuff to get stuff. People need stuff.
And sometimes people got extra money, so they want to get something, you know what I'm saying?
They
Okay.
fancy, yeah.
So they homeboy.
Nigga named Tom.
Okay.
My name Chris.
Okay, let's go. Let's go, my friends. Chapter 3 is on ethics. I think some of you are taking that class with Dr. Moore, ethics. So there's no point, to spend that time to
Teach that or somebody else
do that, Yeah, ethics on the wrong things, the good things, the bad things that, the society, the community expects us to behave in a certain way, not to hurt them. Come up with a product that will improve the life, the welfare of the customer, not to hurt the customer. Do you see? Don't cheat the customer. Do you see? That is, all these connotations of what? Ethics. And you are taking that with Dr. Boone. So, let us look at this. the tree of business life. The tree of business life. Take a moment and see if we do understand it. Let's take a moment and look at it. That is a tree of business. And you see that businesses are set to improve our conditions in our communities. Now, if you pay for the product, do not think that, oh, you have paid and that's all. Note that there are benefits that you derive from it. The product that the businesses provide improve our conditions, our lives. That is what business is for. You see, businesses, they build what? They build relationships with us, long-term relationships with us. They provide us with what? Services. Two, they are ethical. You see, the community expects certain behaviors by our businesses. And if you read Principles of Marketing in chapter 3, the late President Kennedy came up with 4 things. Do you see? That connotes this. Don't come up with a product that hurts the customer. It's unethical to do that. And if you do that, you know this is America. You will go to court. You will answer questions for doing that. And you see that the tobacco industry for a long time has been going to court for doing things wrong. Do you see? Look at, if you have been reading or listening to the news, you might have heard of the behavior of that medical doctor, the gymnast, you know, who was, helping these girls. You know, he's been jailed.
Yeah.
For how many years?
I heard he's gonna live.
I think 175, huh? 175 years. He was selling, and he wasn't being what? Ethical. That was wrong. So you, sitting down there, all of you, when you go out, be careful. You go to jail, you saw that he was. Yeah. These little girls were scared to talk, to talk, just as it happened to Bill Cosby.
Oh.
Yeah, you see, Bill Cosby is gone. If you go to Spelman College, there is a big building there center. He gave about $20-30 million. His daughter was there to build that Cosby. The name has been taken off. A very nice, renowned comedian, and he was not behaving right. And this is I know what you are doing. That's why I'm pausing. Checking. I'm talking to all of you. I know what all of you are doing. Some of you are doing, not all of you. Some of you. You are checking. You have been checking your email. You are just saying it is on your lap. As for Chris, when I told him, I don't know if he has gone back for it. And our only lady in the back. You are holding the device in your hand. So I know what you are doing. Let's get together and do this. Let's do this together. So, let us look at this. They're guided by the golden rule. Business emphasize the benefits to improve. Who? To improve. To improve.
What?
To improve. This. To improve. Let me go back. Communication skills. Improve upon that. That is the golden rule. Don't be selfish. Improve your communication skills so that you can inform the customer about what? About the benefits of the product. And don't be a selfish person. Do you see? A person that make the correct buying decisions. Help the customer to buy the correct product. If the product will not meet the needs of the customer. Don't be a traditional salesperson. And you know what the traditional salesperson does. This traditional salesperson will push you to buy, even though the product might not meet your expectations. Right?
Oh, yeah.
Golden rule. Golden rule.
So,
You have question?
yeah, I was just. So a traditional salesperson, they try to get you.
I have to go back. You want me to go back?
No, I just had a question for you.
Okay.
Yeah, so the traditional salesperson, you saying that like they just try to get you to get stuff, even if it might not be for you, they just try to get you to get it so you can spend your money. Right?
Chris, speak out a little.
Hey, you know something.
I was asking, so a traditional salesperson, you saying that they just try to get you to buy stuff, like whether it's for you or not, right?
The traditional salesperson, as we saw in the other in chapter 1,
Yeah.
all that we know, we have the traditional salesperson and we have the professional salesperson.
Right. Definitely.
Do you remember that?
Yeah, I remember. Definitely a traditional salesperson. That's tough, bro.
Yeah.
All right, hey, this starting to make a little sense to me, though.
And then we have the golden rule salesperson.
Caliper.
You understand? Now the traditional salesperson, hey, I need my commission. You come to me, push you, even though the product might not, serve the purpose for which you are paying the money for. That is the traditional salesperson. Push, push, push. But the professional salesperson cares about you. He would lead you, explain the benefits of the product to you. And the golden rule is that treat the customer as you want the customer to treat you. If you go to Lowe's to buy, you see, Lowe's is going to treat you in a way, the salespersons. In the same way, if an employee from Lowe's comes to you, you have to do just that. Treat the person right. But the traditional salesperson doesn't think about that. Buy it, buy it, buy it. Why? Because he wants the money. He wants the business. That is the traditional. Chris, is this okay for you?
Yeah, I understand what you're saying.
Okay. Okay. Why do people buy? Look at this internalization. Please find a concept, internalization. You understand it? I'm allowing you to use your device. Find this. It is an economics concept, public finance concept.
Internalization is just a fancy way of saying that you were thinking about it.
Okay. That is That is what our friend is talking about. What the way that you are thinking about it. What else? Who else?
What do you want us to look up again?
The internalization as far as you were saying a business,
Have you found it in addition to what Fool said? He's active. I know he's going to give me 3 points tonight.
Me.
Yes, if you don't give me 3 points,
I need to get active, huh?
yeah, if you don't give me 3 points, you'll be in trouble tonight. I'm coming. You see that I'm ready. Internalization. I want you to add something to what Mr. Foles has said. He is not wrong.
Cost is part of a pricing structure, especially social costs resulting from a manufacturer and use of product.
Okay.
That's what the definition of that.
Okay. Does that lend support to what Foles said?
I don't know what you said, honestly.
What did you say? What you said?
Internalization is just a fancy way of saying that you're thinking about it.
How you sit down, you internalize. You see, think about the product.
This says to get subject, like a subject to a character or something. Kind of like putting this in a certain category. That's what this was saying.
Is that what you have?
there's a lot of different definitions.
It has a lot, about 3, 4, 5 explanations to it. One of them is what Foles said. Sit down, think about it. I need this. Where can I find it? What price am I going to pay for? You see, what quality am I looking for? Which place am I going to get the product? You just brainstorm yourself. Okay. Does this not support what Foles said and what I have said so far and what the gentleman has read? We don't know what is in the mind of the customer. The person who actually is attempting to buy the product.
So could the black box thing, could that kind of go to like a traditional salesperson? Because like, I say if I'm a traditional salesperson, right? But I'm trying to get you to buy something, but I don't really know like that it's not going to benefit you. You know what I'm saying?
And that is why you internalize, you think about it. You see, you think about it. What color am I? What is the quality? What price am I going to pay for it? Where am I going to get the product to buy? You see, internalization. You brainstorm, think about it. For the past year or so, you see, I have been going through this, thinking about which automobile to buy. Yes. He's laughing at me because he knows I've been talking about it in class. I want to buy an Audi.
Oh, get a Ferrari.
But I'm broke, you see.
I'm not broke.
I've been thinking, where am I going to buy? Which dealership is going to give me better deal? What color? You see, and how much offered to me can I pay? That is the concept of internalization, which is in the black box of the buyer. You see, nobody knows anybody's mind what the individuals are thinking about or thinking of buying. You see, now we have this model, stimulus. What actually stimulates our mind? towards the purchase of a merchandise or a product. Right? So we have this, the black box. Why we buy? You see, look at the stimulus. The stimulus, what do you think? Let me ask you this question, if you will answer it. What is your understanding of this concept of stimulus? And then if you follow the arrow, look at this, the black box is here. And there is what? There is a response. So let's see. What is stimulus? And can you give an example of what actually stimulates us towards a purchase?
Look it up.
Huh?
Unless you look it up.
Doesn't everybody know what stimulus means? Doesn't everybody
Nah,
know?
y'all gotta break that down for me.
I don't even know what that is.
That is what I'm asking you.
Taking a quantitative response to a quantitative.
And in what form does it take? This stimulus. Even if you have not decided to make a purchase, do you see, in the marketplace, do you see, even sitting in your bedroom, you could be what? Stimulated, be influenced, persuaded to buy.
Stimulus in this context just means that, like, you saw a car commercial and then it stimulated you to think about buying the car. That's all it's talking about.
That is what is being talked about. Advertising, commercials. Do you see? Publicity. Person to person. Do you see? If we meet the salesperson and the salesperson talks about the product or the merchandise, it will draw our attention. This can do this for you. It can do this for you. And it's sitting by the TV. We see these commercials talking about this product. If we buy the newspapers, we get these pieces of information. They persuade us towards what? We have to respond. Sometimes our response is negative. Sometimes it's what? It's positive. If it's positive, then it means that we are what? Buying. We are going to buy the product. You see, there are some advertisement that you see when we screen, we don't even want to look at it. You see, so we just shut it off. But others, we pay attention. And setting myself as an example, if I see an ad in a commercial on Audi, you see, it draws my attention. I pay attention and then look. So if I have the money tomorrow, I'm going to buy. I'm stimulated. The stimulus is the advertisement, the commercial that I'm looking at. So, you see, here, as I said, person-to-person sales. You see, the sales presentation. We have not even had the idea that we want to buy the product. But the salesperson comes to us. It's sent to us by the company. The salesperson comes to do the presentation. That is why it is important for you, as a salesperson, to provide the correct information. You see, be persuasive. If you are persuasive, you talk, provide information about the benefits that the product can do for the customer. You see that you get the customer even to make commitment. You are going to discuss this in the project. The customer to make commitment. Commitment to do what? To buy. So sales presentation, do you see? Influence in trying to dilute the buyer's mind. And then, as I said, it's favorable or not favorable. If it is favorable, we make the business. Otherwise, no business. Right? So we move on. What's known about mental process? You see that the topic is the psychology of buying. People are rational. They know why they are buying. Do you see? And some of us, not some of us, all of us tend to be emotional about what we buy. We draw emotional attachment. When I see Audi Q7, which I cannot afford. Oh, Chris, it's true. I went home to bury my cousin, and I went to my cousin's house in Ghana. Q7 was parked there. I said, oh my Lord, why I'm wasting time somewhere? Yes, wasting time here. My younger brother, Q7, brand new, was there. Mercedes. And he had this Chevrolet, about 5 cars in front of his yard. And I don't have any. I'm driving an old Acura. Wasting time.
It ain't old though. It ain't. You driving.
Oh, Chris, stop that.
I think you driving the truck.
Listen.
Hey, how much did Audi go for?
Excuse me, Chris.
How much does the Audi this one cost?
Audi Q7 is 87,000.
You got that in the bank.
Come on. When I hear that, my blood pressure jumps up. When I hear of that money, my blood pressure jumps up. And I was leaning towards the A8. And you know how much the A8 costs?
How much?
96.
96,000. I got that.
Chris, if you are recruited into the MBA,
Yeah.
I'll come and carry your bag so that you buy me one. How about that? So
Hey, yo.
we look at this, the emotional attachment. When I see, you see, when I see the product, you know, it dawns on me. It draws my love for the product towards the pictures of that product. So you see that we have the reasons, the rational, the practical reasons why we buy. The practical part of this is that I don't have a car, I don't have an automobile. The emotional attachment here is that, hey, I have to have it. Right? We move on. Look at this. A fabulous approach to buyer needs satisfaction. And I want you to read that. We have 2-3 minutes, and for you to move to your next class if you have another class now. But those who are in the next class, management, you remain. I have already sent on the model. You have your groups. Please work with your groups. And 2, remember that in the class I talked about the midterm, March 9. I think in 3 classes or something like that. It can't be possible. It will not be possible to do that. I have to, and I've sent emails to all of you, changing the date of those classes. But even that, it might not be possible for us to have midterm because by March 4th, we might not have, discussed a lot of chapters. You see, we are going to take the first test number chapter 1, 2, and 4. I'm wondering if we would be able to discuss 3 or 4 more chapters for midterm. It is unlikely. And you see, it is not your fault, it's not my fault. We have been breaking classes.
Yeah.
You see, we have been cutting classes. Unless otherwise you agree that a chapter that has not been discussed, you will take the test, which of course, no, I will not do that. So let us see what happens. You want to talk to them?
Okay. Who's in my group? Is there a Mark? Mark Matney?
I hear
Mark. Bowman isn't here, and Platone isn't here, right? Okay. Ariel.
Yeah, buddy, I'm in your group.
Oh, all right.
I have no idea what's going on.
This is it is not a difficult project at all. It's not difficult at all.
Ain't nobody else in the class.
There was.
Everybody.
Oh, there is a
I got
book.
everybody online.
All right.
Oh,
What do we want to
man.
do for the project? We need to think of a company and a